Welcome to Daddy Issues.
Push nice and hard.
This dungeon is gorgeous.
Hello and welcome.
A redhead will stuff you in her trunk and hang you on her wall and fuck you for days. Just saying. It's good times.
I go full trailer park.
Now let's go back to the hose.
That's weird.
This is season 3. This is where shit gets real. We have broken you in. We've warmed you up. We've done some temperature play. Now it's time to get pegged, you motherfucking bitch.
Dude, okay over there?
Yeah.
Would you be comfortable sharing with us the name of the hotel you stayed in last night?
Well, look who skipped their meds today. And then it was just like, I should drink less.
Yep. I don't care. Like, I don't fucking care. Like, let it burn. Burn it! Was that hot?
Pardon me.
Well, is that any better?
It is.
Is it?
I don't know why.
Yes.
I am totally gonna join your cult when you start it of doing nothing. Like, when you start the cult of nothing, I'm joining. I'm lacing up my Nikes. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Like, I will definitely ask people to join because, okay, so my wife had this idea, and it was a simple idea. We were recording, and the levels were really fucked, and she was like, it's okay, should we just hang up and try again? And I was like, fuck it, why not? And here we are with perfect levels by doing almost nothing. Okay, so we didn't make it last week.
No, we did not.
It's a fun story. So apparently cab companies in the UK can't cab. Maybe you guys should really get an Uber.
They can't fucking cab. They can't cab at all.
Tell me what happened.
So, right. My daughter was homesick, but I had to meet Libby for coffee to exchange late Christmas presents because we haven't seen each other since then because we parted ways and everything, but we'd already gotten each other gifts. So the plan was we'd all go to Laura's. My oldest could watch my youngest. I could take a taxi to meet Libby, couple of hours, take a taxi back, then take another taxi back home to put my youngest to bed. So she wasn't having to like stay curled up on the couch. She could like be in her bed.
Right.
Took a taxi there, no problem. Took a taxi home, no problem. I walked in to Laura's, took my shoes off, said, how is everything? Is everybody okay? Blah, blah. 2 minutes. Right, I'm calling the taxi now. Oh, yeah, there's no taxis till 5. I was like, well, Ben's fucking off work at 5. I don't need a taxi at 5. I need a taxi now. And again, like I said, I was only gone for like an hour or two. So I was back we're talking 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
They're like, no. This is siesta time.
Yeah. Lazy fuckers.
Wouldn't you love it if, like, at every job, they were just like, wah, wah. All right, everybody, Raul said it. It's time for your nap. Everybody's getting a little bitchy. Nobody's being that productive. It's nap time. Your cots are over there. Everybody go lay down for an hour. I'm just saying, I think it's the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm more, this is going to make me sound like a 5-year-old. I am so much more productive when I've had a nap. I'm getting shit done.
Oh, it depends. It depends. If I have a decent timed nap, yes. If I have too long of a nap, no. The rest of the day is spent going, man, I could do with another nap.
I really needed that extra. I really could do for that extra 20.
Yeah. Just like, another half an hour wouldn't hurt.
I sound like I've got the coronavirus already, but It's really just me being sick again, as always.
Oh God, dude, yeah. Lexi's had this cough for like 2 weeks, and she goes to school, and all the kids are like, "You got coronavirus."
I loved your meme. She had this, ladies and gentlemen, my wife, she had this meme up the other day that said, "I didn't survive the 90s rave scene to be taken out by a light beer."
Yeah, honestly though, like, come on. That's the thing. Like, I've talked to a few people that are like, everyone's making way too big a deal. Every few years, there's some weird pandemic, there's some new virus, blah
This
blah
is
blah. And I'm like,
different. This is
yeah,
weaponized.
well, and before, the people handling it were actually trying to handle it. Now it's like no one's trying to, they're just like, it'll be fine, it'll just go away on its own. And it's
It's
like,
like
that's not how it's ever worked.
it's like multiple governments and the World Health Organization are all like, let's play a shell game, everybody. It's over here, it's over here, it's over here, it's over here. Okay, find it. There's the coronavirus.
Dude, we were watching, it was 2 nights ago when, because Ben gets live news updates on his phone. I turned mine off because I just fucking, no, but he
I
still gets
turned mine
his.
off because fuck it.
Yeah, he gets his still, and we were set in real time. It was like, 3 now confirmed in the UK, and then it was like 6 now confirmed in the UK, 12 now confirmed in the UK, and every like 10, 15 minutes, and it was just going up and up and up, and it was just like,
Oh
I'm
my
sure this is
God.
fine. I'm sure this is fine.
You know what? You know what it is that freaks me out?
Caterpillars. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to summon the coughs.
Oh my God. I need a blankie. Hold on. Oh, you
Is that
think
the
I'm
weighted
fucking
one?
kidding? I'm not. I'm totally not kidding. Royal blankie.
That blanket looks really soft.
It is so soft. My kid yesterday tried stealing it, and I was like, nah, homie.
Like, I love you and all, but
You know what I did? I compromised. So I was like, all right, obviously he wants something that's like soft and reminds him of me. I was like, that's adorable. So I went in and I got my other super soft blanket with doggy faces all over it. And I was
Aw.
like, I gave him that one. And I was like, look, it's got Sterling's all over it. And he was like, yeah, Sterling. And so I still got to have my giant blanket, and he still was made happy. It's like a Hallmark moment.
Aw.
Who the fuck be
Aw.
drilling?
I mean, it's Florida. Literally anyone.
So I did a thing.
What did you do?
I actually did a couple things over the weekend. You might be
You've
impressed
been
with.
doing lots of things.
I know. Y'all thought I couldn't do shit. I do shit.
I do stuff.
I do stuff. Actually, I don't know anybody who actually doesn't think I'm always doing something, but like this is how much I'm always doing something, and it freaks people out. The other day, one of my best friends, Miss C, right? I sent her a message and I was like, I opened a store, and she was like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, it's up. Here's a link. And she was like, wait, what? And I was like, you can order from it anytime. And she was like, wait, are you telling me that you created another company, like, almost while I was sleeping? She's like, I didn't see you in the past 2 weeks, and now you've got a new business. And I was like, yeah. And she went, you're a fucking machine. Basically the way I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Is if you walk into if you go on to the store, it's got everything you need to update your wardrobe and your home. Like that. And I really only wanted to carry pieces I hadn't seen anywhere else. So go ahead and check the link in the description because we're having a sale right now.
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh, I love sales.
15% off for a limited time, which is
Sales sales like when things are cheaper than they normally are, not sales like as in a ship's sale. Although although they are relaxing to watch.
they really are. Except if yesterday I was at the boatyard and one of the masts was like the boat was in the water, right? Obviously, but the mast was it was being blown about by the wind, and so it looked like it was gonna capsize. It was like,
So
but
you say
anyway,
it's in the water, obviously, but how many times have you been to the boatyard and there's this big fucker not in the water,
there's
like up
plenty
on
of
a
them.
thing? You're like, Jesus.
Yeah, that's why I guess I really did need to make that distinction because a boatyard is where they work on boats, so a lot of them
Yeah.
aren't in the water.
Yeah, they're up on those
Insider,
things that don't look like it should be able to support their weight, but somehow does.
insider Floridian tip. Ding. Okay.
Bless you.
I know, dude. I'm holding it. I'm holding it together. I'm like,
You're doing so well.
second thing. My darling wifey is going to get her amazing crop and whip soon because they are done. And they are
Yay!
beautiful.
Oh yeah, they're so pretty. They're so pretty.
I'm gonna put up the videos of him making it on the Patreon, but they're gorgeous. I mean, really some of
Yeah.
his finest work.
I'm very excited to get them and see how tiny the handle is.
Dude, when he showed it to me, like, he has small hands, right? But like when he
Yeah.
showed me how small your hands are, I was like, they're like Keebler elf hands.
I know, I have tiny hands. I have tiny feet too. Just teeny tiny.
Just so little, just so compact and little and adorable. Third thing,
Oh,
people, I guess, are loving the show to the point where they're actually writing into it. Like
yay!
every week we now have mail. Thanks,
Give me that
guys.
sweet, sweet, sweet listener mail. I love it. I love it.
I wrote it down. Hold on.
Oh my God, she's got a notebook that's actually paper.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Going
Let's go back.
old school with
Let's
it.
go back to the Cretaceous period, everybody. Okay, first question was actually just for you.
Oh God.
I don't know why I don't matter. I mean, I'm not bitter or anything.
Is the
But
question based on arson?
no, no. And it isn't about a tire fire either. So we'll both stand shocked, okay? All right. No, this is for you because you don't have a vanilla life.
Right.
So they have, well, I guess it's two questions in one. The first question is, how do you manage without having a vanilla life with children?
That is a very good question. And
Yeah.
it is one that I get asked a lot. And honestly, I would not be able to do it if it were not for Ben, if it were not for my husband, because he is so supportive that he makes it work. It wouldn't work without him. You need another person that can help you maintain the balance
Can
because
you explain to me?
realistically,
Can you explain
yeah,
to me how he does that? Because like I need a
well,
picture too.
right. Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, for example, let's say I have like, okay, I've got the St. Red Bottoms on the 7th. I got a photo shoot on the 10th. Let's say I get some sessions in between them. You know, Ben is the one that watches the kids. He makes sure I get to where I need to go at the time I need to be there. He makes sure that everything around the house is sorted so that, you know, I don't have to worry. Um, with the children, we obviously I don't have like all of my stuff is in various bags and suitcases hidden under beds and hidden in wardrobes and stuff like that. I don't have stuff out really. So the children don't see anything like that. They see me going out and looking nice, but to them it's, you know, I'm going out and I'm looking and I look nice, you
Right.
know. Um my oldest daughter is 16 and she is aware of what I do
Right.
and is fine with it. But with the youngest, it is a matter of making sure that everything is scheduled exactly. If you have a day that you have scheduled to take your kids to Build-A-Bear, for example, like we recently did, um, then you have to maintain those time periods. You cannot schedule anything else. You cannot schedule, you know, something later in the evening because you'll be wiped out. You have to really look at your calendar and schedule things a few days apart, because if you don't, you will get burnt out completely. And you also have to be able to compartmentalize really, really well. Um, Once I leave that event, once I leave that session, as soon as I walk into my house, all the dom is switched completely off. You read bedtime stories, you make sure dinner's ready, you do all of the things that a mom should do. And yeah, it works. It does work, but you do need that support. You do need somebody that you can trust, that can get your back and make sure that everything flows as it should, you know? Because doing it, like if I were a single mom, I don't know how I would do it. Oh, for fuck's sake. Nugget. Here, let me clap it.
It's our mascot.
Yeah, yeah. Daddy Issues mascot, keeping all of those people that dare to walk past at bay.
We each as queens have giant dogs to protect the kingdom, and they also fuck off on us sometimes when they hear shit. True story.
Oh,
Do you
well,
want the
hopefully we can just edit this bit out and I
Yeah,
can go back over.
that's okay.
Where did I leave off?
No, you were just talking about how it has to be timed right down to like, and then you got to the part where you're saying when you come home, you're just full mom zone. You're like,
You have to, yeah. Yeah, you have to be able to compartmentalize your life and say this part of my brain goes to these times and this part of my brain goes to these other times. You know? Um and that's the only way to really make it work,
okay,
you know.
well, second part of the question is, and I found this, I don't know how you'll respond honestly.
Oh, I'm curious.
Yeah, I you guys hit us in the
Uh,
in the naughty bits. Shoot, I'm assuming this is a woman. Well, I don't have to assume. Okay, I know it's a woman. Okay, I'm not gonna say who you were, but I know you're female. Okay, so second question was, if your children told you that they had a problem with what you do, would you stop?
um well, I think that as soon as they came to me about it, what we would do is sit down and have a very honest conversation
Yeah.
about what I actually do.
Right.
Because
Versus what the assumption of what you do is.
exactly, because especially with the media and things like that, they're not going to have a very realistic view of what it is
Right.
coming from that source. Um, and if we sat down and we talked about what it is I actually do and how it really works, in not in the movies but in reality, how it really works, and they still felt uncomfortable with it, or they still felt like, that they didn't want me to do this, then I would probably stop. I mean, my eldest two know, and they're perfectly fine with it. My youngest, I have a feeling that either she'll never know or she might know when she's much, much older. But that is the key. You have to keep everything completely as vanilla as possible in front of your children when they're little, because they cannot consent to being exposed to anything, and it'd be fucked up and weird to expose them to anything anyway.
Right.
But once they're old enough to know what that is, know what that word means, then they would be old enough to have the conversation about it. With my middle child, my oldest daughter, we had a long talk about it before I started doing it. But it was because she had come to me with some stuff that some of the kids at her school were saying about kinks and fetishes and things like that. And I was like, they don't know what they're talking about, first
Yeah.
of all. And I had to sit down and sort of come out to her
To
at that time
explain.
to explain and educate her on, those are teenage children that are talking out of their ass. That's not
Yeah.
that isn't how anything works. Like, do not get sucked in by this bullshit, because that's not how it works. Um, but I find it interesting because not even just necessarily with this lifestyle, but with any sort of, I guess, alternative lifestyle, you don't seem to see it as often where kids get older and want to rebel against you. You know, you tend to see that with more conservative households.
Yeah, because well, then at that point, there's something to push against.
Yeah,
I'll give you an
yeah.
example of that. So, in my family, everybody is hardcore Catholic.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. All I went to all the holy days of obligation and
Oh
church
my
every
God. Just the
Sunday.
name of that sounds soul crushing.
So I went to confession where I tell a priest about my sins while he holds his to God. Yeah, I mean, listen.
I would love to go to confession. Just saying. I think it'd be hilarious. I mainly want to go to confession
She'd
just
be
to
the
see what
only
I get.
she'd be the only one where the priest is like, get out. Just
It'd be like
fucking
that scene in Goonies when they've got the kid's hand in the blender and they're like, "Tell us everything," and he starts confessing to shit he did in the third grade and stuff.
yeah. Except the priest would be tapping out and be like, I'm done. I can't even this is too much. This is too much. But so everybody in my family, our mothers were like all like that. You know, taking us to church every week and throwing a Bible at us when we were, like don't like I remember one of the things I was told because I wasn't allowed to get tattoos, which now I have like 5 or 6, but whatever. Um she was like, "What would Mary do? Mary wouldn't defile her body."
You don't know. Don't speak for her. You don't know that.
I was like, "Can we just talk about real quick how Mary passed off an immaculate conception?" All right? Let's not talk about Mary's bad decisions. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Good talk.
But
So,
yeah, I don't really worry too much about it, because I think that if once you sit down and talk, that's the thing about kids, is that they're not fucking stupid. As long as you are aware of
I don't know. It
their
depends
level
on
of
the kid.
understanding. Huh?
I said it depends
What?
on the kid.
That is true.
Some of them are fucking morons.
Yeah, that is true. But if you are honest with them when they come to you with concerns, and you hear their concerns and you appreciate where they're coming from, and you just answer as honestly and kindly as you can, and obviously age appropriately, then a lot of times it's not really an issue, because in their heads, their imaginations are so amazing that in their heads, it's usually this big whole thing that's way more insane than the reality of the situation.
You're like, actually,
Which
I'm
is
in the
like,
back of a library taking a very old man to town.
yeah, actually, like 60 to 70% of this job is screening emails. Oh,
That's
the
true.
humanity.
That's true. This isn't the only area of my life where I read emails for you guys, is it?
Oh, God,
Is
it's
it?
constant, isn't it?
No,
I
no,
had 3 this morning. I had
I'm
4
not
this
even.
morning.
I don't even have your inbox problems because I'm not on half the sites that you are. Like,
Yeah,
I don't have the time because I'm too busy
yeah.
starting businesses like every time people blink. But normally, yes, that would be my problem. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, what was I gonna? Oh,
I hope that helped. I hope that answered their questions.
yeah, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
if it came down to it, if push came to shove and they were perfectly making the informed decision to say, and it was coming from an informed place, to say that they were not comfortable with my job, then I would have to consider it at least, because at the end of the day,
That's your kids.
that's your kids. Yeah. You know.
All right, hold your thoughts. I have to use the bathroom really
Hold
quick.
them.
Hold
Don't let them get away.
Hold, brothers. I'm saving that soundbite. I think that was worth it. I'll be right back, and then I've got 2 more questions, and then we can get into our topic of the day.
Sweet. I wonder what that is.
I purposely haven't told you. Love you.
Love you. Oh, she on a phone anyway.
No, I'm not. I was just getting a coronavirus update. Did you read this? Forbes is like, coronavirus could be the end of China as a global manufacturing hub.
I highly doubt it. You know how many fucking people live in China? They can replace, if every worker in China dies, they can replace him twice over. But that would be hilarious, because if that happened,
Mexico would be the dollar store of your dreams. 50,000 pesos, bitches.
Dude, seriously, like there would be that, but all the stuff if manufacturing stopped in China, like the global economy would collapse.
I was gonna say
everybody gets their shit from China.
I would be like, it's everybody's game. Okay, next question.
Woo!
This is for both of us because someone felt inclusive. I'm not bitter. Oh, okay. This one. Okay. So, when you're first meeting a client, what are your requirements in that meeting? So, like, say you're meeting for coffee or whatever, like, what are your protocols?
So
say you've already done the screening, like,
Right, but is this like, am I meeting them for the first time when they come for a session, or is this like if we go for coffee or something beforehand type of thing?
Beforehand.
They have to travel to me. I get to choose the place. And that's it, really. Like, I don't have a ton of protocol. They have to pay for my coffee.
When they're not serving you yet, you don't have protocols in place.
It is more of a social meeting, isn't it? You're just sort of like looking for red flags. Yeah, looking for red flags, feeling them out, that sort of thing. So I guess my biggest requirement is to be themselves, so I know whether they're worthy to serve or not.
Most of you aren't. Fun fact.
That is, Alice, would you say that into this microphone, please?
Hey guys, it's me, a person.
A person.
A person. A big one for me when meeting a new client is to make sure they don't badmouth other mistresses first, because the second they come in all guns blazing, oh, this mistress didn't do this or that, you can absolutely, hands down, guarantee they're going to do the same about you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what I almost equate that to? When a guy has been married and he's talking super shit about his ex-wife, I'm like, but what about her? Like, what did you do to make that bitch go, forget happily ever after? Like, what did you do?
Because that's the thing. Like, you don't, if she's that much of a psycho, blah, 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 you were together for years.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. What were you hiding?
But you're just now having these complaints? No.
Okay, and our last question is, I think, my favorite to answer of the 3, only because I only got to answer 2. Okay, so I only got to pick between one and the other, which one was my favorite. But I like this question. So, what are our favorite tasks and or gifts that we get from slaves. Like, what are our favorite things that slaves do for us or give us? And I already have my favorites.
I was just saying, favorite gifts, shoes. God, I love getting shoes. I got a pair of shoes anonymously sent to me like 2 days ago, and it's the best. I love it. I love it. I love being like, oh, a package has arrived. I wonder what it is. And it's fucking shoes.
Shoes are the way to a woman's heart.
I love it so much.
You should check out the shoes on my store now. I got a whole shoes section.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep. And I'm adding a bathing suit collection. Mm-hmm.
I thought it was like some form of shoe, and I was like, what the fuck? Is this high heels for the tub? Shower wedges, bitches.
Like like that chick on TikTok who's like, these are my most extra heels. These are my flippy floppies. So
my favorite task, okay. I have not had a live-in sub because obviously, family situation.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a live-in sub, my favorite would be to have a cup of coffee and a rolled spliff brought to my bedside first thing in the morning on a silver platter. That would be my favorite. In the meantime, because I don't have a live-in, my favorite is I like a pain slut. I like when they're like, I have very few limits physically. Have fun.
Like
Go
the
at
guy
it.
from that event who you were like
Yeah.
impressed with his pain tolerance.
Yeah, because it gives me the opportunity to explore some, like, for example, I'm very much into needle play, but I still need a lot of practice at it. I know how to do it, but I'm not to the level I'd like to be. So when you have one like that, you think, man, okay, this is great because I can hone my skills in areas that need honing on this person because they are totally fine with it. They're just like, go crazy, have at it. Domestically, let's see. I like a foot bath and massage. I like a foot massage, bath. I like to have my hair brushed as well. I really quite like that. I like being dressed. That's why I would love, if I had a live-in, I would love to have like a lady in waiting type of maid that would bring me my coffee in the morning, and when I'm ready to get dressed, they would dress me, they would brush my hair. I would love that level of kind of medieval service.
I do too. I love the idea of, I mean, I know this is gonna sound kind of shitty, but like back in the day, if you were royalty, some of it was good. Like, you actually, didn't we talk about this on one episode? You could be the royal ass wiper. Like, that was a job.
Because we Googled it to see if it was actually a real job while we were talking about it.
Yeah. Then there's like I mean, honestly, you didn't want to be a peasant back in the day, and I'm not one now. Treat me like the royalty I am.
For me, it's not even about the act itself. It's about when they anticipate your needs.
Yes.
And go completely full on in trying to fulfill those needs. Whatever those needs are, that's their entire life. That is what their submission revolves around, making sure that you are having your needs met.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have my own answer.
Need a pedicure.
I have my own answer for this. One of my favorite things, favorite task that my slave does, I require actually every morning, and that's why it's my favorite. It starts my day off. By 8 a.m. every morning, he has to send me a video of him kneeling.
Yeah.
This is not negotiable. When he fucks up, he pays, and he knows it.
Yeah.
So, that's one of my favorite tasks because it just shows that their headspace is starting in the right place to kick off their day. That's one of the things. One of the other things that my slave does, and I just really like, I love to eat, okay? but I really don't love to people. So he will send me food, ice cream, like lunch, just whatever. Whenever I'm sick, whenever I'm busy, whenever I'm just like a little stressed and sad, he's like and I just wanted to say, if you don't have somebody that's clutch like that for you, you need to search for a slave. Because I'll give you another example. This is a really small thing, but like I always have businesses going on, right? So I can't do all that shit by myself. The other day I was having a glitch, so I was like, "Hey, go try doing this, this, and this, and let me know if it works," because I don't have the time. I bounce ideas off of him. I don't go with a dumbass slave. It's a bad reflection on me, first of all, but secondly, I want to be able to use you to my to really not just make my life a little bit easier, but also that I can have an intelligent conversation if I can get through all these words with somebody who I feel like is worth a damn. Like, honestly, my slave is a great guy. He's quite a catch. He's a really good dude, and that's why when a chick was being a bitch to him, I had to put an end to that. Because I was like, no. It's like having a pet. I talked about I will protect you. I will love you. I will pet you. Good boy. I love you. Oh, you're a good boy for me. Oh. He's my little fortune cookie. Love him. But yeah, no. So for me, my favorite tasks that he does are the required one every morning, because it just shows that he is still in the right headspace, still devoted, still on task. So that's one. And then I love how he feeds me and gives me alcohol at all, really basically whenever I want. He also maintains my high. Like, this is what you need in your service, ladies.
Yes.
Boom.
Except nothing less.
Which actually brings me to our topic of the day.
Ooh.
Yeah. Service. What does serving us look like? There we go.
It depends. Depends on the sub. You know? If it's a domestic, it looks like someone cleaning and scrubbing floors and cooking meals. If it looks like being a pincushion, it's being strung up and having needles put through your skin. If it's serving us in a...
Do you have like a one-size-fits-all for that?
No. No, you can't have a one-size-fits-all, because every sub and slave and sissy and masochist and adult baby, and I mean, they're all different. They're all individuals. And so it's never going to be a catch-all.
It kind of does, though.
Yeah. Oh.
Hello, it's me again. Like,
It's a person again.
Hi, person.
It's a person. Yeah, so it depends whether you're distinguishing between service and play. If it is service, then it is done with the dominant in mind. It is a selfless act. You're not doing what you like at that person, because it's not for them, it's for you.
Yes.
You are acting in your daily life or under their control for them. So it doesn't matter what you want at that point. It's for them, not for you.
So to follow up on that, now, does that extend to clients or only like personal slaves?
It depends what they ask for. Thing is, a lot of people mistake play and like an actual service a lot.
Yes.
A lot of people think they want service, but actually they want play, because then they throw their dummy in the dirt when you're not pandering to what they want.
Yes.
Oh.
And a lot of people think that them doing what they enjoy at you, or getting you to engage in what they want, is service, when actually it's not. It's just play. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But people need to realise that serving is not necessarily just doing what you like at people.
Yeah, because you're not gonna like a lot of the stuff that we do. You know, you're not if you come and you say, I want to serve you. That's what my favorite slave to work with right now is a Scottish gentleman that has been around forever. And his whole thing is that's his mantra is being naked and obedient. He doesn't care what it is that is asked of him. He, like, for example, he doesn't like pain, but he will sit there and fucking take it, and he won't whimper or make a sound about it because he knows it's not about him.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And as far as clients go, I should have really mentioned that as part of the vetting process as well,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't want we're not that type of sex worker, I guess,
Yeah,
is the
no,
best way to say it.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's not being a vending machine.
Yes. We're
Oh,
not
I
here to
like that.
go down the list of your fantasies and make them happen. You book time with us. You can say what you like, you can say what your hard limits are, but you don't have any control on what actually happens.
Yeah, that's it. It's not, you don't just put a coin in us and we'll go in that direction. It's a case of you explain what you enjoy and what you would ideally like to experience, but we're not just going to go down the list and do them all right then and
No.
there, because then why the fuck would you come back?
Yeah.
Because you've done it.
Well, and you know what?
Oh, that's a
I've met a
good
lot
point.
of them.
I'm sorry. That was
Yeah.
just an excellent point. Like, if you give them all the goodies, they're never going to need to come back. That's a great point. Anyway, go on.
Because then it gets boring and it stagnates because
Yeah.
you know exactly what you're expecting. You know exactly what's going to happen because you've put it out in writing.
Well, and that's the thing. A lot of them that think that they want that, they don't actually want that.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, I've had I remember one in particular that spent some time with me, and he was complaining about a session he did with another pro mistress. He did not mention her name. He didn't like try to slander her in any way.
Wasn't
But
bad mouthing her.
he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He didn't even say she was. He said she was good at what she did, but just he didn't feel fulfilled because when he went to her in this really nice, beautiful dungeon and everything, she had a straight up checklist, sat there and would do a thing and then tick it off, and would do another thing and then tick it off. And he's
Wow.
like, that's not what
That's not very organic, is it?
exactly. And so even when they want to come at you like a fetish dispenser, if you provided that, they wouldn't be satisfied with it. That's not what they really want.
No, and half the time, like it's difficult because it's up to you to gauge how far that person goes. The body never lies.
Yeah.
And you can tell when someone's not enjoying something, even though that's something they've said, oh yeah, I'd love that. I had a yes, I agree, Nugget. A gentleman came to me and said, "Oh, I desperately need humiliation. That is absolutely what I want. That's the best thing ever." And then I did it,
I
and
know who she's talking
and
about.
oh my God, and he was like, "Oh my God, please humiliate me. That'd be the best thing ever." And then I made him bark like a dog, and I looked like I'd ended his life.
I understand because I met with a potential slave. This was last month, and he kind of did the same thing. He's like, "This is what I like. This is what I enjoy." And the moment I started doing that, he was like, "Well, you can't say that." And I was like, "What I can't fucking do? What?"
Yeah, exactly that.
But I feel like there's a lot of weight to what you're saying, because you're right. A lot of people look at service like it leads to, like, if I do this, then I'll get this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like some sort of exchange system. Bitch, I ain't doing shit for you.
Right.
Mhm.
This is not a transactional relationship, my friend.
That's a fucking sugar baby, and I ain't her. Okay?
Yeah.
But what do you think about when you're, okay, say you've already gotten to the point where you've got somebody in service and they're like throwing new kinks or fetishes in that they didn't originally present. How do you handle that?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you want to trial something,
Yeah.
that provided it aligns with your own interests.
Yeah.
If it's something that, if they suddenly throw something in your face that you are like, ew, oh my God, no. If that's something you don't want to do, then, fuck it. It's not your responsibility to mummy them like that.
No.
But at the same time, if it's something that could potentially align with your interests and it's something that you could safely, do, then by all means trial it if you feel like it. But if not, that ain't your responsibility.
That's exactly it. Like that's why I say I don't handle it, because I make a note of it, and if I feel like doing it, then I'll do it. You know, I'm not gonna cater an entire thing around letting them try this new thing they heard of.
Yeah,
You know.
and then if you don't space it, like it was said earlier, you know, you become like a Pez dispenser. You're like, I want it, I got it, I want it, I got it. And then there's no then they're entitled, it sounds like.
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, interesting. I missed a question and I'm really curious to know what person has to say about it. This is it. Okay, so we had somebody write in and they basically wrote in about something that happened to them and wanted us to kind of share our thoughts on what we think. So it goes something like this. The other day I was outside with my girlfriend. Randomly, she told me she had to go to the bathroom and popped a squat right where we were. I guess they must have been like later on as they were camping. And
Oh yeah, middle of nowhere.
yeah. So now, but what he says is that when she started peeing, he got like turned on. He like started getting hard, and that's never
Right.
happened to him before. So
Interesting.
So he wants to know, does that mean, does he have like some hidden kink or fetish, or is that just like a one-off? He's like,
There's nothing bad about that.
Pardon?
There's nothing bad about that. Like, if it's something that he's interested in, or something that has obviously caused some sort of response,
Yeah.
then speak to it. Like, speak to your partner about it.
Absolutely.
Like, speak about it. Be honest. Just say, look, if this has happened, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Would it be okay to like explore this a bit further? If not, then that's that.
Yeah.
Like, if she's not into it, then fine. Maybe look up porn of it or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, there is an outlet everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, there is an outlet for everyone, and it's like, you know, explore it a bit further. See how you feel if you go a bit further.
Yeah.
You know, is it okay, or does it make you go, oh God, no? Like, in that case, you'd stop.
Exactly. Well, and like think about, what was it? Was it the fact that she was peeing, or was it the fact that she was peeing outside in a sort of
The vulnerability
the
aspect.
vulnerability of being out and being there? And realistically as well, I do just want to add this. If this is a kink that you think that you might have, that you think you might want to explore, weirdly, one of the most safest ones to explore, to be
Yeah,
honest. I mean,
yeah.
it is.
Especially if someone's fluid bonded. Exactly.
Yeah, if you're already fluid bonded and yeah, you know the person or whatever, like just the act itself is a lot safer than most of the other stuff
Yeah,
that we
let's be
do.
honest.
I mean, let's be real here.
That's a good
you know.
point. Yeah.
But it is worth thinking about. Like, okay, well, what if he were to stand there and not necessarily stare at her or anything, but stand in the bathroom, maybe even facing the wall while she peed in the bathroom? Would he still be, does that still excite him, or was it
Oh.
that she was peeing outside?
Because there is a thing for girls just peeing outside, isn't there?
Yeah,
Like,
for some reason there's this account on Twitter that like all their videos every day I'm seeing girls pee outside every time I scroll down.
I'm really curious what, like, I didn't even think about all of those elements that y'all brought up. Like, is it the vulnerability? Is it being outside and exposed? Or is it the actual, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was in that scenario that he's laid out for us, there's a lot of different aspects to that could have psychologically hit the right spot for him, but yeah, just have an open, honest conversation about it. And
never try and shove it down, because that's when it comes out in weird places. Like, because it will find a way out.
Yeah.
It always does. Like, whenever you have something like that and you have a developing feeling about something or someone, it will find a way out. And if you don't let it out in a normal way, it'll come out in a way you're not expecting.
Yeah.
So
that is so true.
So just, be honest. Like, if somebody's honestly prepared to just walk away from a relationship because you got a boner watching her pee one time, that's really not the right relationship.
Yeah, that's
Fair.
that's not someone that's in it for the long haul, is it? I mean, and realistically, if he doesn't even have to go to her and be like, "Hey, I think I might have a kink for this." He could just go to her and tell her exactly what he told us. When we were camping, and you needed to pee, and then you just suddenly did it, because it could have had that could have been an aspect that
She was like like spontaneously doing something.
yeah,
Yeah.
just didn't give a shit, just popped the squat right there, like, and say, tell her the effect it had on him and everything, and say,
Not to mention, it might not have been the effect of that. It might have just been a random boner. You know what guys are like. Like, it does happen.
That's
That is
true.
true. That is
He
true.
could have
So,
just been
it's
like,
worth
his brain
investigating
could have
at the
been
very
like, I mean, when I say his
Yeah.
brain, I mean his dick. His dick could have been like, ooh, she's half naked.
Yeah.
Like, what if it's really simple?
Yeah. The
Absolutely.
subconscious is a weird place.
It is, and there's a lot of aspects to the scenario that I think though that it is worth exploring, because at the end of the day, it's not like a hazardous kink. It's not dangerous. It might be some, everybody's got something. Everybody's got some sort of thing that just does it for them. And if you can find a new one, that's fantastic.
I mean, really, there's not a lot of new stuff that gets me like, yay, anymore.
Right?
So the fact that you
Or
have
the new-
anything.
Yeah. But when you find that new thing, it's just like, oh, awesome.
Well, and bonus, in this case, you're still attracted to your own partner. So, like, you're really winning.
Well, I mean, it could even, there are cases where it has solely to do with that partner. There are people that, when this specific person engages in this specific behavior, they love it. But if it's anyone else, it doesn't do anything for them. I think it's worth exploring. I think, especially if your girlfriend's really cool and chill, which clearly she must be because you're one of our listeners. Okay, how's that?
It worked fine. Oh my god.
It's amazing.
The cult grows deeper. Okay. By the way, small side note, I love that your profile picture is half you, half Cthulhu. I just want to say that out loud. My wife has the best taste in profile pictures. Yep.
So where were we when we got cut off?
Let me think. We were just really circling up and finishing up the how to tell your partner you might be into God only knows what out of that scenario. We have established that anything could have been cool about that to him. But,
absolutely.
But you made a really good point. She's cool enough to pop a squat in front of you. She's probably cool enough to ask her this or tell her this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good point because it's really true.
I would, and if you're listening, I would love an update. I would love an update on what happens if you decide to move forward.
Yeah, let us know how she does and if she goes for it. I'm curious.
Yeah, because we got your back, man.
And so is he. All right, time to get to our strain of the week.
Yay! What's the strain for today, gorgeous?
Let's see. Hold on. I've got our strain, darling.
Oh, giddy. What is it?
It's called Birds of Paradise.
Ooh, sounds fruity.
It is, and I've smoked it before. You can get it at Grow Healthy. Shout out to Jose. Yeah, no, I love this one. It's an indica dominant hybrid.
Those headlight things that she had on, the reading glasses with the lights on, would be great for interrogation scenes. So every time you look at them, they can't see your face, just the lights.
Also, kind of like little lights coming off your face. Like, I'd be so tempted to laugh.
Right. It'd be great. It'd be great.
Okay.
Oh, I've never seen your mom before. That was great.
Not exactly what you'd expect, is it? Okay. She
had a bit of a New York kind of accent going on there.
Yeah, well, she was born in New York.
Oh, that's that's why.
She's from like New York and Connecticut.
Oh,
So
Did she
yeah.
go? Did she leave New York to look at the leaves and get stuck there in Connecticut?
It's funny. She
That's
lived
where
in
everyone goes from New York to look at the leaves in
Oh,
autumn.
yeah.
okay.
It's
I
a
forgot
beautiful.
people did that.
Connecticut's so beautiful, but if you like other races, you have to visit other states. It's like
Yeah.
you won't.
Yeah.
If Connecticut had a flavor, it would be pumpkin spice.
That's so true.
If Connecticut were a person, they would wear fuzzy Ugg boots.
Yes, queen. It's so fucking true. Okay, we got it. We're getting to our shirt of the week. This week, it's Birds of Paradise, which is actually a combination of two strains, Cali Snapple and Blue Heron. Already fun, okay?
Right? The name sounds like a cocktail that you would get where it's a deal where you get like a pitcher for tenner.
Right? So listen to this. So Blue Heron is an indica dominant hybrid bred by Dynasty Seeds that brings a euphoric flight to both mind and body. Parented by Blue Magoo and Huckleberry, Blue Heron takes after its Blue Magoo mother in its structure with blueberry, rose, and citrus aromas. And it takes about 8 or 9 weeks to flower. But here's how it finishes once it's mature. It's blue and green.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. I have smoked this one myself. It's delicious. I have anxiety, and even though it says it's indica dominant, for some reason if I smoke too much of this one, I do get like my heart will start racing. I get a little nervous.
I get like that with Purple Star Dog.
See? So
And I don't even have anxiety.
yeah, so it's one of those things where you kind of have to use it sparingly on the front end just so you can figure out exactly what the effects are to you. But
Yeah.
if you have to get through your day, it definitely won't have any fatigue whatsoever.
Really? And it's
So, yeah.
indica dominant.
And it isn't, it
That's
says
cool.
it is. I don't know how that's possible because it definitely it feels like a stimulant to me. Like if I
Wow.
smoke 3 like long hits of it, I'm so fucking ready to tear a house down and build a new one. I don't know why. Like I'm ready to Chip and Joanna by myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our strain of the week. You can find it at Grow Healthy. Like I said, shout out to Jose. He's super cool. He's my buddy over there. And they have this and a ton of other strains available. You can get it in flower, distillate, or a cartridge.
Nice.
Yep.
If you're in the UK, you can get it from some shady ass person that will send it to you through the mail in these really, really scent proof envelope things.
I find that amazing. But you want to know how far medical marijuana has come in our state? The dispensary I was just talking about used to be a bank, right? A lot of the dispensaries use old banks because they have vaults.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just made a comment, and I thought I was being a wise ass. I made a comment the other day. I was like, too bad you can't fire those things up. And I was pointing to the tubes that you send through from the teller out to people. I was like, you could be shipping drugs out to cars all day. He goes, actually, we just got approval for that.
Hell
and I
yeah.
went, are
God
you,
damn it.
are you
We don't even have the tubes over here for money, let alone weed. It's not fair.
I'm just going to say, technology wins today. And also, we have come so far when you could literally drive through drug. You know, like, I'm just going to pick up my 6 strains, my 4 blunts, send it on through.
I mean, I remember we've always had that though, but instead of being at a bank with the tubes, it was through the drive-through of that one shady Taco Bell in town.
That Taco Bell was the only one worth going to, though.
Right.
And their sales were better.
Over here, they don't have that, but you know what they do have? They have people that sell out of ice cream trucks, so you can hear the music. You're just like, ooh.
Okay, so on that note, in New York, they've decriminalized weed, and if you are driving around or doing whatever a New Yorker does, which is walk,
Yeah.
walking
Everywhere,
around,
all the
yeah,
time.
if you're walking around and it's like sunset or later, you're just gonna roll up on what you think is an ice cream truck, but when you get closer, it's a weed. Like all of it's like a bunch of THC products, and
What
usually
song do they play?
they usually are playing Bob Marley music, like reggae
Nice.
at a minimum reggae. Okay, but
You know,
most of the time,
I really, really love socialized healthcare, but it is almost enough to make me want to move back.
just saying, weed delivers. I think that's super cool. Oh, and there was a guy, and this is before we had medical marijuana down in Florida, but up in New York, there was a guy who had a business card that would deliver your weed to you at any time. Like, day or night, doesn't care. He gets the text, he's like Batman with weed, right? He's like, something is not right. And he just like fucking deuces out with a fuckload of weed to deliver to you. But I tested this. This is an amazing. I asked him, I was like, not to be like a narc or anything, but don't you ever get nervous? And he goes, no, it's
Right.
decriminalized. He goes, the way I look at it is, I'm doing the world a service by
You're
having
damn right you are, my man.
weed on
Yes,
demand.
you are.
And I told him, I was like, man, this is why hippies are the best. I even said, I was like, you want to stay and just watch cartoons for a minute, or I don't know. I don't know how to socialize with people, but this is my A game. I didn't want to fuck you, but I will totally give you this granola bar I have in my room and watch cartoons with you. Is that cool? Nothing is weird about that, right? All right. So anyway, that's
He probably couldn't. He probably had another like 2 texts waiting. Like,
I'm just telling you, Batman with weed. My respect, okay? I am not hating. I thought it was amazing. He even told me, he's like, even if the cops catch me with like a big knapsack of weed, he's like, they're just gonna be like, give it here.
Yeah.
They're not even gonna give him. He's not gonna get in trouble, so he didn't care. So weed for the greater good is the best good.
Yes.
Oh, and they have this shit available now. Rick Simpson oil in many, 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 many flavors. This shit will knock you on your ass. Like a tiny dot of it, it's like black, okay? But a tiny, yeah, but they now have different flavors, but a tiny dot of it will make you reimagine your life. You'll be tripping balls with two. Like you can't. It's not safe to Rick Simpson oil and anything. Don't do anything after you've used it. But it's an inexpensive product that will fucking take your pain away. I mean, you won't know that shit is still going on. People just like roll by you, and your eyes are the only things you can move to follow them. It's like,
it's that shit that's so strong that you like feel guilty for having it because you're like, shouldn't this be going to cancer patients or something?
That's
like,
what
I
it's
shouldn't be allowed
for.
to have this.
That's what it's
Don't give me
for.
this. Give this to someone in need. You know.
Shout out to the I forget who it was, but somebody in the U.S. and I don't know. There's only the government's the only people that are the only people that can investigate the benefits of marijuana. Shocker. But what they finally released is like, oh yeah, weed does kill cancerous cells.
Yeah, I saw that.
We are now confirming what everybody else has been saying for a really long time. But I gotta be honest. I was surprised that it actually kills the cells. It doesn't just arrest the development of more. It'll fuck up the shit that's growing. So
yeah, honestly, I am too. I thought that it was more of a arrested the growth and eased the symptoms kind of thing, but now it's like, no, it's straight up.
It'll cure it.
Will kill. Yeah.
Amazing.
I bet they hate that so much because they're like, we just had to fucking admit that every stoner in the country is right. Fuck.
I mean, that's the best win, short of straight up revision to the marijuana policy as a whole.
Yeah.
Where, like, I mean, why we're still it's expensive to have your medical card. You know, I
Yeah.
paid $30 a month just to keep that bitch turned on like lights. Yeah, plus the weed. So
Yeah.
it's not cheap. It's really not cheap. Anyway,
Still cheaper than actual like pharmaceutical medicine.
word.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't pharmacy. Okay. Thank you for joining us this week, everybody. We hope you don't get the coronavirus. It's been awesome having you alive and with us, even you sniffly ones like myself. And we want to thank Person for dropping by and giving us her 2 cents. She was amazing. We hope to have you back.
You're welcome. I'll try and be back.
She's sweeter than a shortbread cookie.
She is.
So we have a mini-sode coming out. We have to record it, but we'll be recording a mini-sode this week sometime, so enjoy. And then make sure you're following or subscribed wherever you're listening to us so you can catch the latest and newest episodes.
And keep sending us those questions. We're having a lot of fun with them.
Yeah, darkshadequeen@gmail.com. The link is in the description, along with the new store, darkgypsyboutique.com. You'll love it. Go check it out. Yay!
Yay.
Well, we're going to say goodbye. I'm tired. My coffee's run out. She's ready to take that nap we talked about earlier. So we love you, and we'll see you next week. Bye, bitches.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on Daddy Issues. We're happy that you've joined our little cult. Now you're cordially invited to their subscription channel by Shade Queen and Lady M. You'll find photos, videos, and unreleased audio, and all sorts of kinky things you won't find anywhere else. And don't forget to tell a friend about us. After all, we're everybody's guilty pleasure. Click, play, obsess.